I think I'll ask you first. You don't seem to buy the idea that DHS will throw this claim out there with any factual basis. Is that accurate?
My assumption is the Department of Homeland Security has a factual basis for their claim that they let Wisconsin know about the Russians. And if they didn't, we need to get to the bottom of it either way, because it's really created quite a flurry and obviously a lot of concern.
Is your concern that people are going to say, we don't know what to believe?
One, and two is whether or not the WEC and essentially the cybersecurity of the state is competent. I mean, we have a long way to go to the elections, and between now and then we have to establish that we are going to be secure. And if we don't ask the questions now, come November, nobody's going to believe us. But until Friday, we were told that the Russians hadn't been involved in attempts to scan Wisconsin. Somebody said we did on Friday. I still don't know the name of that person, and we're going to continue to look into that.
So just to make sure I understand what was just discussed here, these attempted scans, did they take place in October or July?
I haven't had a chance to look at the detailed timeline, and I suggest that everybody does it, but it's July or July or August. I know that there's two memos, October 6th and October 7th. One is silent as to the Russians. There's a discussion of Russians in October 7th, but it doesn't indicate that there was any type of successful attempt. So our continuing questions and investigation will be really focused at, is there a basis for the Department of Homeland Security to say that people in Wisconsin did know about the Russians' attempt to scan our election systems?
The July scan looks like it was of the Department of Workforce Development. Are you confident that they actually scanned the voter registration system at any point?
I haven't not had a chance to look through this timeline in detail. We're going to come back and have further discussion today. We have been told now by DET that they did not scan Wisconsin election My Vote voter registration. Right? That's what we heard this morning. So we're going to go find out if that's true, and we're going to verify it, yes or no.
One of the commissioners seemed to be questioning today how we would know that the actors that were attempting these scans were Russian. Do you buy that they were, just based on what the DHS information that's been provided to the state, or what's your thought on that? Those sort of questions that were raised by Commissioner Knudsen.
We still have not been, provided with all the information, and in particular what DHS documents or information led them to believe this. Clearly there's a basis for someone to believe that certain anonymous scans were Russian based. I mean, that's what we're here talking about, and that's why I'm being asked these questions. Someone believes they're Russian, and we have to figure out what it is.
So just to summarize, the federal government told you guys on Friday that Russians attempted to scan election systems, but your stance right now is that you can't prove that either election systems were scanned or that was scanned by Russians.
Correct. I think that's a fair summary. The point is, we're going to come out of this meeting with ongoing investigation to find out to what extent we can, who said what, when, and why the representation was made last Friday that Wisconsin was told that the Russians scanned our system. Now, we had Department of Enterprise Technology here telling us that Wisconsin election systems were not scanned. We still, I think, need further verification of that fact.
When they contacted you last week, was it related to those July 30 and 31st scans? Could it have been another one, or?
All I know is I got a call from Administrator Haas saying this is breaking. So what DHS has said is the basis I still haven't seen, right? What I'm assuming that I've been given this morning is what we have compiled, or what DET compiled and gave us to look at. So, you know, we're getting emails as we speak from DHS onto what was said when. I don't have the answers to that yet.
Are there steps that you feel need to be taken to give Wisconsinites confidence that their voting systems will be secure in 2018? Or is the first step still to figure out what happened in 2016? Or just trying to give somewhat of a forward look to this?
My read on this is what I heard from DET is that they are confident that all the doorknobs were not touched and or entered for 2016. The question is, what do we do between now and 2018 to make sure that the doorknobs are not touched and or entered in 2018? I have no reason to believe that somehow Wisconsin is incompetent and or can't deal with cyber attacks. I'm assuming we're going to get there. And what steps need to be done, that's part of what the plan is getting developed for.
It would seem that the technology folks have a lot of confidence that they're doing everything that should be done, and that we're on this.
The testimony provided today by the DET was that they were confident. As a layperson, not technically trained and or with access, as I said, we are going to adopt the trust but verify position. We need to have verification in clear, simple, plain speak. So my fellow Wisconsin citizens have that same level of confidence. That's our job.
Can I ask you on one other topic? Scott McDonald brought up this voter ID survey that UW released last night. Have you had a chance to see that? And I guess if you have, are you concerned by the results that are found?
I did download it last night. I did scan it. I have not digested it. I have asked Scott to come back at our next meeting to discuss it. I think it has to be fully discussed and vetted by the commission in terms of what are the implications it has. Clearly, we know from the recount and we know from the follow-up that the number of fraudulent votes are minuscule, less than 70 referrals or 79 referrals to DAs. We know that fraud is virtually non-existent in the state of Wisconsin, and that's why I was hoping that there was someone here from the President's Advisory Council, because that's what they're looking for. My response is, if fraud is de minimis and the voter ID implications are that it potentially impacted or deterred 10,000 votes, that's something that the Elections Commission needs to discuss, because I think we're here to make sure everybody votes, and if they got the adequate ID, they should be able to vote and exercise their rights. So we're going to revisit that report in detail at a future meeting.
Thank you, sir.
So before you all go,
Thank you all.
This is the email that we just got.
That I haven't even seen.
Yeah, we had to redact one IP address out of it. But basically what it says is that DHS confirms that it was not the elections system that was scanned, but it was the Department of Workforce Development.
I was going to say it.
How do you feel about the information you're getting here? Not a question for you, but a question for Mark. First they're telling you, leading you to believe anyway, that you haven't been targeted by the Russian government, right? Because Mike says he's asking left and right, and they're saying, we're telling the states. Then on Friday they tell you, you've been scanned. You asked for the evidence of that, and then they're like, oh, whoops, it was the Department of Workforce Development. Do you have confidence that Homeland Security is on top of this issue?
It's sort of beyond my purview to make determinations as to their competence. What I can say is that we are going to come out of this meeting and we're going to follow up with Department of Homeland Security and find out why they're making the representations that they're making and why. Either someone was right on Friday, and this memo today is a cover-up, or they were wrong on Friday and we deserve an apology. So, we're not there yet.
One of the things that was said in the discussions about this is that DET told us that Homeland Security doesn't know exactly what IP addresses go with what agency servers. Maybe they assume.
They've only had 10 months to figure it out.
I understand.
Yeah, but I appreciate Reed.
Yeah.
We
don't.
and we don't have
Yeah.
to make excuses
Right,
for
yeah.
the Department of Homeland Security.
No,
okay,
right.
so we will speak for ourselves
Yeah.
soon enough.